Welcome to Vedantha Bhakti Pravachanam. Let's start Sri Sai Satcharitra, chapter 15. The readers may remember that mention was made in the 6th chapter regarding the Ramanami festival in Shirdi, how the festival originated and how the early years there was a great difficulty in getting a good Haridas for making kirtan on the occasion, and how Baba permanently instructed this function to Das Ganu and how he has been doing it successfully ever since. Now, in this chapter, we shall describe the manner in which Das Ganu was and has been still making the kirtan. Generally, our Haridas, while making the kirtan, wear a gala and full dress, but put on a headdress, either a peta or a turban, a long flowing coat with a shirt inside, a uparani, that is short dhotar, on the shoulders, and usually long dhotar from the waist below. After dressing himself in this fashion for some kirtan in the Shirdi village, Das Ganu once went to Baba for making a bow. Baba asked him, "Well, bridegroom, where are you going dressed so beautifully like this?" "For making kirtan," was the reply. Then Baba said, "Why do you want all this paraphernalia, coat, uparani and peta etc. Do off all that before me? Why wear them on the body?" Das Ganu immediately took them off and placed them at Baba's feet. Thenceforth, Das Ganu never wore these things while making the kirtan. He was always bare from waist upwards, and a pair of chilips was in his hand and a garland around his neck. This is not in consonance with the practice generally followed by all the Haridases, but this is the best and purest method followed by all the Haridas. This sage Narada, from whom the Kirtan Paddhati originated, wore nothing on his trunk and head. He carried a veena in his hand and wandered from place to place, everywhere singing the glory of the Lord. Initially, Baba was known in Pune and Ahmednagar districts, but Nana Sahib Chandorkar, by his personal dogs, and by Das Ganu, by his splendid kirtans, spread the fame of Baba in the Konkan, that is Bombay Presidency. In fact, it was Das Ganu, may God bless him, who by his beautiful and inimitable kirtans made Baba available to so many people there. The audience who come to hear the kirtans have different tastes. Some like the erudition or learning of the Haridas, some his gestures, some his singing, some his wit and humor, some his preliminary discussion on Vedantha, and some other, his main stories and so on. But among them, there are very few who by hearing the kirtan get faith and devotion or love for gods or saints. The effect of hearing Das Ganu's kirtan on the minds of audience is, however, electric as it were. We gave the instance here. Das Ganu was once making his kirtan and singing the glory of Sai Baba in the Kaupaneshwar temple in Thana. One Mr. Cholkar, a poor man serving a temporary employ in the civil courts in Thana, was amongst the audience. He heard Das Ganu's kirtan most attentively and was much moved. He there and then mentally bowed and vowed to Baba, saying, "Baba, I am a poor man, unable to support my family. If by your grace I pass the departmental examination and get a permanent post, I shall go to Shirdi, fall at your feet, and distribute sugar candy in your name." As good luck would have it, Mr. Cholkar did pass the examination and did get the permanent post, and now it remained for him to fulfill his vow. The sooner the better. Mr. Cholkar was a poor man with a large family to support, and he could not afford to pay the expenses of a Shirdi trip. As it was well said, one can easily cross over Nahane Ghat in Thana district or even the Sahyadri range, but it is very difficult for a poor man to cross Amber Ghat, that is the threshold of his house. Mr. Cholkar was anxious to fulfill his vow as early as possible. He resolved to economize, cut down his expenses, and save money. He determined not to use sugar in his diet and began to take his tea without it. After he was able to save some money in this way, he came to Shirdi, took Baba's darshan, fell at his feet, offered a coconut, distributed it with a clean conscience along with sugar candy as per his vow, and said to Baba that he was much pleased with his darshana and that his desires were fulfilled that day. Mr. Cholkar was in the masjid with his host Babu Sahib Jog. When the host and the guest both got up and were about to leave the masjid, Baba spoke to Jog as follows: "Give him cups of tea fully saturated with sugar." Hearing these significant words, Mr. Cholkar was much moved. He was wonderstruck. His eyes were bedewed with tears and he fell at Baba's feet again. Mr. Jog was also curious about this direction. Regarding the tea cups to be given to his guest, Baba wanted by his words to create faith and devotion in Cholkar's minds. He hinted as it were that he got this sugar candy as per his vow and that he knew full well his secret determination not to use sugar in his diet. Baba meant to say, "If you spread your palms with devotion before me, I am immediately with you, day and night. Though I am here bodily, still I know what you do beyond the 7 seas. Go wherever you will. Over the wide world, I am with you. My abode is in your heart and I am within you. Always worship me, who is seated in your heart as well as in the heart of all beings, blessed and fortunate. Indeed, he is who know me thus." What a beautiful and important lesson Baba was thus imparted to Mr. Cholkar by Baba. Now we close this chapter with the 2 stories of lizards. Once Baba was sitting in the masjid, a devotee sat in front of him. When a lizard took his tail out of curiosity, the devotee asked Baba whether this tick-ticking of the lizard signified anything. Was it a good sign or a bad omen? Baba said that the lizard was overjoyed as her sister from Aurangabad was coming to see her. The devotee sat silent, not making out the meaning of Baba's words. Immediately a gentleman from Aurangabad came on a horseback to see Baba. He wanted to proceed further, but his horse would not go as it was hungry and wanted grams. He took out a bag or a pouch of grams from his shoulder to bring grams and dashed it on the ground to remove dirt. A lizard came out therefrom and in the presence of all climbed up the wall. Baba asked the questioner devotee to mark her well. She at once went strutting to her sister. Both sisters met each other after a long time, kissed and embraced each other, whirled round and danced with love. Where is Shirdi and where is Aurangabad? How should the man on a horseback come there from Aurangabad with the lizard? And how should Baba make the prosperity of meeting of the 2 sisters? All this is really a wonderful and proves the omniscience of the all-knowing nature of Baba. He who respectfully reads this chapter or studies it daily will get all his mercies removed by the grace of Sadguru Sai Baba. Hence, O to Sri Sai, peace to be yours.